Might help if I have everything prepared. I make no promises of me being coherent during this. Anything being actually prepared. Yeah, that sounds about right? Hello and welcome to the Knee Deep in Stitches podcast. My name is Danielle. For those of you who do not know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel recently. Yes, my tongue is blue. I ate a candy cane before doing this. Oops. Anyway, let's get back on track, Danielle. I just wanted to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel, whether that was when I started this channel about a year ago to now. I suddenly have over 130 subscribers, and I am just super thankful that you enjoy watching me. I feel like I have been a little bit of a scatterbrained mess, but I don't know how else to be that way when I'm almost 35 weeks pregnant, so my brain is not fully cooperating with me at this time. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and who has watched my videos. I really do appreciate it. I also wanted to quickly mention that I do have the community tab, and if you're wanting to see what videos are coming up, I am going to try and post there occasionally and let you guys know what my video plans are. I will also be posting polls so that you can vote and help kind of give me video ideas of what you would like to see on this channel. There's currently one up that I do recommend going to look at. I will link it in the cards. I never remember which side they're on. I think they're on this side. I don't know. It'll be linked. So if you could go vote on that, it will definitely help me out. I'm sorry if I seem like I am easily out of breath. I am. Baby girl is definitely making it harder to breathe. I'm to a very fun stage of pregnancy, I think, where I'm just constantly uncomfortable and constantly ready for her to be here, but also not ready for her to be here, if that makes any sense. That's just where I'm at. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into my WIPS section. I do have quite a few WIPS, and some of these WIPS you won't be surprised by. I am going to go ahead and get the Stephen West MKAL WIP out of the way first. It's technically the one I've worked on the least amount, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. Let me grab it. So I am on clue 3. And I've actually made a change to clue 3 because I was tired of doing those tiny cables, and it was really frustrating me. And with where my brain is at, I wasn't able to think clearly, and it was just getting so frustrating. So I went ahead and I made some changes to clue 3 for my own sanity. And by changes, I mean I just did garter stitch for these long strips, and I am content with that. I did have on here, I don't know if you guys can see, the light's making that a lot brighter. I did have the cables done up to a certain point, and I will insert a picture so that you can see, and then I just kept doing them wrong after that point and getting really frustrated to the point of tears, and I don't think knitting should bring me to tears. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change it. So I did. So on one side I'm doing this bright neon from Madeline Tosh. Edison bulb is what this one is called. And then on this side, I'm currently working on it. Oops, I dropped my yarn. I'm using this fuchsia color, and this is a Malabrigo yarn in fuchsia. So let me flip this around and I will show you what we're looking at. Because I did also add in that dark gray is a mohair. I really like it for this, and I do intend to use the mohair in other parts of the shawl. I have looked ahead. I've seen what it's going to be. I've seen what these strips become. So yeah, but this, along with this, is currently what I have. I am going to be doing the cable embellishments. I just have not gotten there. So let's go over this really quick. The black is Malabrigo sock yarn in black. It's their sock base. The dark gray here is Kid Silk Mohair, and it's drops, and it's just their dark gray color. Then we have the Madeline Tosh Edison bulb. We have the Malabrigo sock in fuchsia, and my light gray is Pearl Malabrigo sock yarn. So that's what I have so far. I'm content with my change just because it works with my brain right now. If I want to, I can always go back and do the cables. I can always go back and do a duplicate stitch over it. I don't think I'm going to, but I did kind of have an idea because I'm doing this bright color on one side and the pink on the other, that I could duplicate stitch and do the pink to replicate the cable on this side and the other. But I'm gonna wait until, you know, pregnancy brain's not a thing, but then there's just baby brain, because the baby's gonna be here, and I'm not making any promises. My goal for completing this, in all honesty, it was this weekend. It was this upcoming weekend. Today is, gosh, I didn't even tell you what day. Today is Friday, November 11th. And I was intending to have this done by tomorrow, because tomorrow, Saturday, November 12th, is my baby shower, and I was wanting to wear it. There's no way. And I'm not going to push myself to finish this just that quickly. I mean, there's no way. I'd have to be the speediest knitter in the world, and I am not. But I will say this, I am liking it. I actually like the finished shawl and the way it's going to look. I like the colors I've chosen for myself. I'm happy with it. I just need to, I'm just going to pace myself. I'm not going to make any goal of like finishing it by the end of this year, finishing it by the end of January. Like, I want to finish it by the end of January. That's kind of the only goal I've set, but if I don't finish it that quickly, it's okay. It's something that I am working on. I'm just slowly working on it. I work on it in the evenings when my husband and I are watching Inuyasha, because I've seen Inuyasha 8,000 times and he's never seen it, so I don't have to pay complete attention to it. It's a show I can watch while knitting on, so yeah. That's just kind of where I'm at with the Stephen West MKAL. The next item I want to talk about is actually something that I am having fun working on. So if you remember the Mary Maxim mystery bag opening, I'm using some of that yarn here. So I'm making a Santa sack. It doesn't look like one just yet because I still have quite a bit of ways to go. I looked up Santa sacks and different things here on YouTube, and I didn't quite find a pattern. So for one as big as I wanted it to be, I'm making this to actually go over my family's Christmas gift this year instead of doing wrapping paper. But I kind of modified a basket pattern, and I'm using part of that baby Mary Maxim's Baby Best in ecru. So I'm using this, and I'm also using the Mary Maxim Glimmer, and this is in baby blue, which I think it's going to be a pretty little Santa sack. We got them a game, and so that'll go in here, and I know my mom will enjoy this because she's a crocheter. And yeah, so I just kind of did like what I would normally do for a basket, and then I kind of went from there, and I'm just kind of going off on my own pattern, but it'll be a Santa sack when it's done. And I'm using the crochet hook I'm using is a 5.5 millimeter or an eye hook, and I use boy hooks, so that's what that looks like currently. I have not too much more on it, but I'm gonna make the top ruffly, and then I'm going to crochet an I-cord so that, you know, we can cinch it and tie it in a little bow and all of that good stuff. So yeah, I crocheted a baby onesie or a romper or whatever you want to call it. I'm not counting this as a completed finished object because I need to put the buttons on it. I need to sew in all of the ends, but I think this is going to be so cute. And this is actually out of Red Heart yarn. I know a lot of you are going to say it's never going to soften up. Not true. I have not had a lot of issues softening Red Heart yarns, but I have a process I do, and it does take white vinegar to make that process happen. So yeah, the pattern I use, let me grab my phone because I actually have it saved on my phone because I'm making another one. I will say this about Red Heart yarn. I find that white vinegar, borax, and washing it on your washing machine and then tumbling dry low really softens it up. I do not recommend tumbling dry it on high. Don't do that. It's acrylic yarn. Don't do that. So the pattern I'm using, and I will have, if it's a specific pattern or tutorial, I will have it listed down in the description box below, is the Easy Crochet Baby Romper. And this is Traverse Bay Crochet. And I just used their website. They do also have a tutorial here on YouTube for it. I just found that I liked following the pattern better. It was just easier for me to do that, so I went ahead and used their link to the pattern. But yeah, if you want to call it a romper, if you want to call it a onesie, whatever you want to call it. But I will be weaving in the ends and then putting some buttons on it, so that'll be good. The next one here, I'm making another crochet baby romper, same pattern. I just found in my stash Caron Simply Soft in the color Lavender Blue. So it's this beautiful lavender color. One thing I will say is I did not, the pattern calls for you doing the body portion in the round, and I kept twisting my chain stitches. I just could not get it right, so I just did it flat, and then I'm going to seam it together, which is the same thing I did on the other one. It didn't really cause a problem for me doing the rest of the pattern. I am also using, this is a size 4 yarn, and I am using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook to accomplish this. And this is, I think it's slightly bigger than the 0 to 3 months, but it's not quite the 3 to 6 months yet. So that'll be good. It'll fit baby girl. So that's, I'm doing another one. I find wow, words. I find that right now for me doing crochet is a little bit easier than knitting, which has been interesting because I tend to, which I find interesting because I love the look of knitting so much more than crochet half the time, depending on what it is. Not always true. Sometimes crochet is totally fine. It's just a preference I have. And so The fact that I'm crocheting so many things is indicative that it's quick. It is quick. I'm much faster at crocheting than I am knitting, and the patterns I'm using are less taxing on my mental capacity than the knitted ones are. Well, some of them. The Stephen West one, for sure. Hurts my brain right now. I will get it done though. The next one I have is actually a WIP that I found on a cart I have in my closet. It is going to be a very long dish towel for my kitchen, and I'm doing this in Tunisian crochet. I'm doing this in the Tunisian crochet simple stitch. It's just kind of my preferred. Oh look, I've already messed it up and I need to go down 2 rows. It always happens. I don't know why. It's because I went back to Tunisian crochet and I haven't done Tunisian crochet in a very long time. But this is Karen Cake cotton. I'm not quite sure which one. Yeah, I don't even have the label anymore, but I have a ton of this. A ton of this. So I will probably be whipping up some dish towels, dishcloths, things like that for my kitchen. But this is where I was apparently when I was filming my videos a year ago. But yeah, I need to rip out 2 rows, it looks like, which is fine. I'd rather it be even and look nice, and it does roll. That doesn't bug me. My other 2 that I have down in my kitchen that are literally the same thing have stopped rolling because of how much use they've gotten, as well as how much washing. And I will say I'm pretty impressed with the durability of this cotton. I will link it in the description box below because I will go and search, and I'll probably put it up on the screen which one this is. Oh, Karen Cotton Ripple Cake. I just can't remember the colorway, but I will list that for you guys in case you're wondering. So yeah, this is a languishing WIP that I want to finish because I have this plus 3 things of it rolled into a ball for some reason. I can't quite remember what happened, but I have worked on this a bit. Probably those 2 rows that I now need to rip out. I had to go back and look up a tutorial on the Tunisian simple stitch because I could not remember it to save my life, and I was like, why can't I remember this? But it's okay. Tunisian crochet is just, it's its own beast. The final WIP, or no, I lied, not final WIP. I'm a liar. The next WIP is in this bag here. This is just a giant makeup bag, like it's bigger than my face, that I've had for a very long time. And I think I got it from Ulta. I'm not sure. But in here is my Musselburgh hat. So this is what we're looking at. So if you remember, this portion here I did with the stripes of a Halloween yarn I actually had that was like Spooktober, something like that, but the rest of it's in there. I have like 30 grams of it left. I did several projects with this yarn, and I'm going to be doing another one. And then the gray is Cascade yarns. They're heritage yarn, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and this is in the colorway 5735. I think it's actually like heather gray or something, or just gray on the website. Not quite sure, but that's what I'm using. And if you look, my stitch marker, it's the Sailor Moon one right there. That's how much knitting I've done since the last time I've talked about this. It's not a ton. I use this as my sitting in doctor's offices, waiting rooms, slash while I'm, cause I have to do the NST or the non-stress test every single time I go in, twice a week at my doctor's office. And I've just been doing that, or crochet. I've just been knitting during it. Crochet, knitting, and knitting. So I have this now. I switched. I was doing magic loop with this and it was driving me nuts. So I switched to a 16-inch circular. So much better. And this is a US size 3. These are just cheapy circulars. They're not anything fancy. I had them already and I was like, you know what, let's just switch it. So I did. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I would say I'm about halfway done with the gray before I start the decreases, and then, you know, I'll have my hat. We'll see if it fits my head or my husband's head. Either way, a hat will be made. Then another hat that I'm working on, and this is a Bag O' Day pattern. I will have it linked. This is what it's looking like. I can't decide if I'm going to keep this, donate it to Warm Up America, or give it to my cousin's little girl because it might fit her. But I'm using I use the rest. Hold on. It might help if I have everything prepared. I make no promises of me being coherent during this. Anything being actually prepared. Yeah, that sounds about right, right? I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. When pregnant, don't drop things on the floor. Anyway, let's get back to this hat. This is a Bag O' Day pattern. I did make it a little bit bigger. I did a few more increases at the top. Just because I was kind of playing around with it, because it's Crystal's baby hat pattern, but I wanted it a little bit bigger. And then it's really not done yet, so I am actually going to be I'm working on some ribbing here that I'm going to do for the bottom, and it's about an inch and a half of ribbing that I'm planning on doing, like the length of the ribbing, so we'll see. And the yarns I'm using, I finished using the Red Heart Roll With It Tweed. If you remember, I did make something else. I made a baby blanket with this for my little girl, and this is in the colorway Sunset. So that's what all of that is. And then this is Red Heart Big Twist Bubblegum. It's just their normal. And so, yeah. And then I am crocheting. I crocheted this, and I crocheted this on a 4.5 millimeter. And then for the ribbing, I went down a crochet hook size, and I'm doing a 4 millimeter crochet hook. So that's where I'm at with that. The ribbing won't take me long. I can sit there and do it while I'm watching TV, but yeah, I love this pattern by Crystal. It goes so fast, so I do recommend. I actually recommend any of Bag O' Day's patterns. She has a new poncho out that has sleeves, and I really want to make it for myself, but I'm gonna wait until I have this baby so I can figure out what size I need to make for myself, because I have no idea what clothes of mine are gonna fit and what's not, and what size to make things. No. Then I have this behemoth that I'm working on. I'll take all of the yarns out, but I'm working on a basket, just a yarn basket, and this is the Patterns by Pamela's Adoring Crochet. I'll have it linked down below. Her tutorial is really good. So I'm just working on that. I am using a size 8 millimeter crochet hook. I'm doing this as 4 strands of yarn, and the yarn I'm using is Red Heart Super Saver. This is in buff. Then I have 2 of the Aran Fleck and 1 of the black. And so that is what I'm using to make this basket. I just thought it would be nice to have like a little basket to set aside while I am filming. Set aside when I'm filming. What? No. Set aside while I'm sitting on the couch watching anime, watching random TV shows, just so I had a place to put my stuff. So currently working on that. That's not a need to get done now pattern. That's more of a, we'll see how this goes. See when we get it done type of a pattern. Okay. My final I want to call this a finished object because it's technically done, but it still needs the ends woven in. I made this cute little sweater, and this is going to fit my little girl probably at like 6 to 9 months, somewhere in there. I also want to redo the buttons a little bit, so yeah. This is my final WIP. I have a lot of ends to weave in. The pattern I used mainly for the yoke, and then I kind of went rogue. It is, let me get the pattern, Crochet Baby Cardigan pattern. It's the Ellie Cardi. And it's Pretty Simple Crochet who did this, and theirs is very different. They do have a very good video tutorial that if you're much better at that, I will link the pattern and the tutorial down below, but I use that mainly for the yoke portion. And then I was like, I want a ruffly cute little cardigan that I wasn't worried about going too far, so I did that. And the yarn I used is, let me grab it, is this yarn here again. It is the Mary Maxim Baby's Best DK Sport Weight, and this is in ecru. So yeah, and then the little buttons I used are just some little wooden buttons that I got from Walmart. So yeah, nothing too fancy. It's just a cute little baby cardigan. Probably fit her when she's a little bit older. Somewhere between like the 9 and 12 month range, I think. But I couldn't help it. I made it a little bit bigger because she has a lot of clothes. And I probably need to stop making her clothes, but I'm not going to because why? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the finished objects. So the first one I want to talk about, where did my label go? Is what I made out of that very chunky yarn that I got out of that Mary Maxim mystery bag. I made some cowls. I will actually post a picture of me wearing the one I made for myself. I did not use a pattern. I chained 15 stitches, and then I just did a ribbing, a crochet ribbing through the back loop. The hook that I used is this behemoth. It does not have a hook size anywhere on it. It's a massive hook. Mind you, this is a Bernat Mega Bulky yarn, and it is definitely super bulky. Super bulky, super warm. I made two. I made one for me and I made one for my best friend. So I don't know where it cut off. So I'm gonna start. This is in, I'm gonna start from the color of the yarn, I think. I don't know where my camera cut off, so we're gonna start over. So you might hear this information twice. I made two of them. I have one for me and one for my best friend. I really like how soft this is. I think my best friend's going to really love it. She works in a warehouse that is just forever freezing cold, so definitely get some use out of that. But there's that. It is the Bernat Mega Bulky, and it's the color Dark Gray Heather, which when I hold it back this far it just looks black, but I think when I hold it closer it's definitely a dark gray, like a charcoal gray. And I'm going to give her hers this weekend keep mine. And set that one there because that one's mine, this one's hers. I don't know why I know that. Why there's like a difference in knowing which one's which, because they're made the same. And then just in case, this is the hook I use. I have no idea where I got this, but it is the biggest crochet hook I have, and you definitely need a giant crochet hook for that. Also, if you have like carpal tunnel issues, anything like that, that yarn, it weighs a lot when you're working with it. And it definitely hurt my wrist when I was working with it, and I don't have carpal tunnel, so just keep that in mind. Makes a lovely cowl though. The next thing I finished is this adorable little cardigan I made for my little girl. It's so cute. I used, why can I never find my labels? I probably put it away, but this is a mandala baby, and I had two cakes of it, and I ended up color controlling on this, and I will list what pattern I use because I cannot remember off the top of my head. I ended up doing a little tie here at the top instead of the button, just because I didn't like the buttons that I had at the time, and this just turned out so cute. I'm just so happy with this. She's gonna be a warm little baby. This is definitely a 0 to 3 month size, so it will fit her sooner than the other one that I made. And I just, oh, so cute. So cute. I'm so happy with it. I love how it turned out. It's just adorable. But I will have that pattern in the description box, link down below. The next thing I finished is with, I don't know if you guys remember how long I've been working on this, but I'm gonna put it on because I actually really love it. Yeah, this is the crochet rib beanie that I've been working on. I did not follow a pattern, I just kind of went with it. It literally, ooh, my hair. It literally is a giant rectangle that I cinched the top together, and then I wanted a folded up brim, so I did that, but I actually stitched down the folded up brim because I didn't want it coming undone. Just what I did, and this was using Chroma fingering weight in the color Groovy, 396 yards. I used 2 skeins held together while using, I think it was a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook is what I used to make this. So yeah, I finally finished it. Took me forever because I feel like I've been talking about this beanie forever, but I really do like how it turned out. It's fun, it's colorful, it's very me. This one makes me so happy because it's just so cute. It's this little crochet baby dress. It's 0 to 3 month size, or it's 0 to 6 month size. I used the, I used another Caron cake for this one, and it's in like a wine color, or like a pink wine color. I can't remember quite what it's called, but there's that. The tutorial I used here on YouTube is the crochet baby dress, Madeline 2022, 0 to 6 months. It's by Frisian Knitting Tutorials, and it's a really good tutorial. I really love how this turned out. I think it's so cute, and I can't wait for my little one to wear it. It does have a button closure on the back, so kind of keep that in mind. But it's such a simple little cute little dress, and I can't wait to see her in it because it's so cute. As you can tell, I've had a lot of fun making baby garments, and we'll be making plenty more, I assure you, because they're fun to make. The next things I want to talk about are my acquisitions. I actually won a giveaway from Texas Peach Knits here on YouTube. I really, really love her channel. She made these adorable little stitch markers. Come on, focus. They're so cute. I'll have her channel linked down below so that you can see them. But I like the little Texas one, the peach, and the cowboy boot with the spur. They're just so cute. But yeah, I won a giveaway, and so I got those stitch markers. I didn't want to take them off of here until I was ready to use them and share them with you guys. But they're so cute. Then the only other thing I got is I plan on doing Sockmas this year, which is totally nuts, and I will explain why in a little bit. I ordered one of the Sockmas bags from White Rose Fiber Company, and it's just so cute. I wanted the black one, had to settle for the red one, which is totally fine. It has this cute little stitch marker with it. The inside is adorable, and this will be perfect for socks, like knitting socks on. I just think it's so cute. So I did get one of those for Sockmas. So yeah, that is all of my works in progress, my finished objects, and my acquisitions. I did not acquire a ton of yarn or anything like that this month or these past few weeks because I have a ton of yarn to work through, and I do not need more yarn right now. I mean, I would love to purchase more yarn, but just not in the cards. One thing I do want to mention, I don't know if I'm going to have a podcast episode up in December. I am due in December, and I might be induced early. I'm not 100% sure whether that's going to be the case or not. So I probably won't. I just don't know what December's going to bring. It's so kind of all over the place with just doctor's appointments and things going on in my life that I don't want to promise that I will have an episode up in December. It might have to wait until January. And who knows? Who knows what will happen? I mean, having a baby is just kind of so up in the air. I don't like that I can't be like, okay, this is when this is happening and this is how this is gonna go, and it's not like that at all. At all. Which is fine. I'm accepting that. It's fine. It's fine. The part of me that wants to control things really can't right now, so yeah, that's kind of where my life is, and I just wanted to let you know that. I do want to thank everyone who has liked, subscribed, and left a comment. It really does help me if you guys could like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you're working on down below. I do love to hear what people are working on. It's a lot of fun talking with other knitters and crocheters. I don't really have a whole lot of people who actively knit or crochet in my life currently, so it's just fun having that community and being able to kind of talk with each other about different projects and things, so I really do appreciate it. I will have everything that I talked about as far as I can listed and linked down below in the description box, as well as my Ravelry, how to get in contact with me, where else to find me online, things like that. So thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of you, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it was not too rambly. Thank you again for watching, and bye!